Hi everyone, it's Alicia talking to you about Tirzepatide today. It is a beautiful Father's Day evening. I got to get back to it, and every Sunday is when I take my Tirzepatide shot. So, I have received my package recently, about a week ago, from the pharmacist. And just to remind you, I do go through my family doctor when it comes to receiving my Tirzepatide injection. My doctor originally prescribed Wegovy, the GLP-1 medication, the brand name Wegovy. That cost was about $500 through my pharmacy with the insurance coverage that I do have. So that was not affordable and not something I was willing to even consider at that cost. I did go back to my doctor and I explained to her that I couldn't afford it. And she came back to me and said, I work with a compound or a compound pharmacy. So compound pharmacies create their own, essentially their own medication based on dosage requirements, based on the feedback that they receive from the doctors. I'm not explaining it very well, so I'll do another video where I dive deeper into what a compound pharmacy is, because it sounds a little sketch. But again, I am going through my family practice doctor, so I feel very confident in what I'm receiving. So she set me up with a prescription of Tirzepatide, and this is through Dynamic RX Labs. And this would be my second compound pharmacy that I've had experience with. And so far, so good. The one thing that I really appreciate about this compound Tirzepatide, that formula that I am currently receiving, is it does have additional vitamin B, I believe it is, in the compound, and it just makes it where I'm not as tired as I could be. And to take my injection, I usually take the injection earlier in the day on Sunday, kind of get it out of the way Sunday and just start the week off right. But being Father's Day and being that I am such a good cook, I figured I needed to give myself a break for the afternoon so I can indulge. And let me tell you, I indulged. I can always tell when it is time to take an injection because I start to think about food more. I start to have cravings. I start to be able to eat a little bit more. I get a really weird sensation where I feel like I'm very hungry, and it's almost as if my stomach is starting to growl, and it starts to do a little internal noise like it's growling, but it never comes into fruition. It never comes into a full growl. And it seems really weird and it sounds really weird when I say it out loud, but that is the feeling I have inside, where there's this growl that just wants to come through, and it is so ready to come out, but it never comes out. And I feel a sense of hunger that I have never experienced in my life. It is, I just feel extremely hungry. So all day I have felt really hungry. I have been nibbling on this and nibbling on that. I haven't even counted my calories. I have not paid any attention to any of the numbers today. I figured I was due for a day break anyways. And on this medication, even though I am due for an injection, I still know that my stomach is going to process my meals much slower. And I definitely know and I can feel that I'm getting fuller faster. So I'm still feeling all of that, but I'm also very hungry. So it's almost like a slight shift in degrees of how I feel. I feel full faster, but not quite as fast as I do on the day of the first 3 days of my injection. So the medication starts to wean off and it starts to fade. And that is kind of the cycle of life that you go through during the week. So, with all of that being said, I am due to take my injection, being Sunday, and I'm going to do an unboxing of the package. So I ordered this, I don't know, it must have been a Tuesday, and I think I received it on a Thursday. My husband was home and he received the package, and it is refrigerated. So I had it in the refrigerator for about a week now. So it comes in this cooling pack, and there should be some kind of ice pack on the inside. I guess I didn't need my box cutter. So it comes in this refrigerated pack, and this is also cold and refrigerated, and it's like an overnight shipping. So you have your ice pack, and this you just throw away. It is a single use, colder than ice, non-toxic, but you do throw it away. It would be nice to figure out a better way to recycle this, so maybe I'll look into that. Big fan of recycling. Here is what they say, the RX syringe kit. So with this compound pharmacy, I did have to request. I made sure and put a little note saying please send the syringes and the alcohol wipes, because I did not get it in my package last time. So if you have the opportunity to remind your pharmacy to provide those tools to you, you're better off, because you can't take it if you don't have the syringe. You can purchase those on Amazon. You can go to Walgreens. They are widely available, especially now that we are in a time when everybody is very interested in the GLP-1 and Tirzepatide lifestyle. It is becoming very, very popular. So anyways, this is the only bag that was actually in there. I thought there was going to be multiple things, but this was the only bag, and I'm opening this up. And here are the syringes. Comes with plenty. And here is some information. Read before injecting, just to give you information on how much you need. And here is the actual Tirzepatide prescription, very tiny. As I go through the unpackaging, it just gets smaller and smaller. So this has 2 bottles, which is good because once you open it, the clock starts ticking. It does expire in about 6 weeks after you open it. This has a very small amount, but my doctor has decided to prescribe me, I believe, 5 milligram dosage at this point. Again, I am microdosing, so I usually take my shot every 6-7 days. And I guess I'm not technically microdosing because I'm still taking a shot every week, about 6 or 7 days. But I listen to my body cue. So when I start to feel like I'm getting hungry, I start to know, okay, this is the point where I need to consider taking my injection. But I also am mapping and planning around my lifestyle. So today, Father's Day, I wanted to pig out with the men of my life. And I did just that. So I waited until the evening to take my injection. So you kind of just play with it. And I guess that's why I reference it as microdosing. I'm not staying on a schedule. I'm really going to listen to my body and my body's needs. So this does say 10 milligram for 0.5 milligram. But there are 2. And this should probably last me, I believe, 2 months. Again, another bottle. This will last me approximately 2 months. And in the description, or maybe I'll add it to my video, I'll talk about how much I am paying for this per month, because I want to make sure I give you the right information. So again, I do believe both of these bottles are going to last me 8 weeks. And I am currently on week 9, starting to get into week 10. I guess this is the start of week 10. So in my next video, I'm going to actually show you how I inject my Tirzepatide. I'll give you a video, a sneak peek of what that looks like. But I need to slip into something a little bit more comfortable before I do that. So I will see you soon.